Hi, I'm Claire. I work at Sydney Advanced Physiotherapy, and I'm going to talk to you about the pelvic floor through the different stages of a woman's life. So it's not uncommon for young women to experience incontinence, and we don't hear much about this because understandably young women don't want to talk about leaking urine when they exercise or when they feel urgent with their bladder. But in our practice we do see women in their sort of 18, 19, 20, 21 age range. And it's often when they're starting to take charge of their own exercise program outside the structure of school. So they're going to the gym or they're doing some running and they notice a bit of incontinence then. Or sometimes with the increasing pressure of going to uni or starting full-time work, and then urge incontinence where you really need to rush to the loo and sometimes don't quite make it starts to show up. The next life stage when we tend to see women coming into our practice for pelvic floor issues is around pregnancy and in the postnatal period as well. So during pregnancy, your posture changes a lot and there's a lot of weight on your bladder from the growing uterus. So incontinence, particularly stress incontinence, where you leak with coughing, sneezing, or physical activity like lifting, is very common, particularly in the later stages of pregnancy. In the postnatal period, whether you've had a vaginal delivery or a cesarean delivery, it's very challenging for your pelvic floor and for the deep core muscles which help support your bladder and bowel. So we often see women in that recovery period, or sometimes a couple of years later, when they're still experiencing difficulties. The research tells us that 48% of women are incontinent in the last trimester of their first pregnancy. In subsequent pregnancies, 85% women are incontinent in their last trimester. In the postnatal population, 92% of women who are incontinent at 12 weeks after their baby's arrived are still incontinent at 5 years. So this means that if you don't get the problem treated, it is very unlikely that it will go away by itself. During and after menopause is another time of dramatic change in a woman's life. And so this has impact on your pelvic floor as well. During menopause, your ovaries stop producing estrogen, and this can have an effect on the tissues in your pelvic area. So that includes the lining of the urethra, which is the tube that takes the urine out of your body, the lining of the vagina, and the muscles of the pelvic floor itself. So all the muscles in your body get smaller during menopause without the right input in diet and exercise. So even though menopause and the associated hormonal changes represent a big challenge for your pelvic floor and for your bowel and bladder function, there are lots of things you can do to help minimize the impact of these changes. So just like muscles elsewhere in the body, you can exercise your pelvic floor to make it stronger and to provide better support to your organs. And this is best done with the guidance of a specialised women's health physiotherapist. So we can use real-time ultrasound, and we can also do internal assessment if that's indicated to see how your pelvic floor is functioning and to guide you with exercise. A women's health physio can also help you with constipation management. Constipation can be a very big problem for your pelvic floor, especially if you're already experiencing symptoms. Don't forget we have another video about constipation and defecation posture as well if you'd like to check that out. So if we go a bit further down the track later in life and you want to think about maintaining your independence, one of the main reasons that people go into nursing homes is incontinence. So by addressing any issues now, you have a much better chance of avoiding problems later in life. That's not to say that there isn't a lot we can do for women who are in their 70s, 80s, 90s and beyond. So please don't let being in that age category be a reason for not seeking help. So the message that we really want you to get from this video is that whether you're a teenager or you're pregnant or you've just had a baby or you're later in life, please don't let pelvic floor issues go unaddressed. And we'd love to hear from you if you have any questions about this video or anything else. You can contact us at our website or the number below. Thanks.